Your turn.
She stepped on your foot.
Hey, lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Okay.
Hermione making a surprise visit. There's thunder and lightning, so Hermione is wearing a thunder jacket. And she wants to rub herself all over the couch.
And she stepped on my foot because that hurt. My toe's never going to get better.
Not every time you kick it.
Well, no, that one was not on purpose.
It's never on purpose.
I have a pillar. I need a pillar, please. Thank you. Wait, don't you do it.
Nope.
You little turd. Stop it. No.
She looked her dead in the eye.
Stop. Hermione, stop it. What are you doing? Freaking weirdo. I just put toy box killer. I didn't do the toy box killer. So you have a heads up. Hermione, that hurt too. Yep. You like the little box I put in there? It's not a toy box, but it's a box.
It is a box.
Oh, look, hey, my hair's everywhere. Thanks, TV, for showing me that I look like crap.
That's it's awesome. Okay. My hair always looks like it's everywhere, especially when it's humid. It just
as you pull it. Look at me. We had a comment, and I missed the comment. Oh, what was that? Ooh, you got Dutch. Where's mine? At Dutch.
Yeah, at Dutch.
It's
we got the new Rebel. I got the new Rebel. Fun fact, I got one this morning after my doctor's appointment, and I got a second one. I did not think I was going to like this as much as I did.
I got a beaver. Okay, I'm done.
I love the candied apple Rebel. I love this. This is the candied cherry Rebel. Delicious. What about you?
I got it was a caramel pumpkin brulee iced chai. Stop rubbing on my couch.
She'll wear herself out.
Stop it.
Tataru was just sitting there watching her.
So many things I could say. I'll go put myself in the timeout.
You know what? I deserve 2 treats today.
I think because I said I got a beaver.
Oh, you got a beaver? I got this. A teddy bear with cherry blossoms.
It's a cute little teddy bear with cherry blossoms.
Yeah, it's going to help.
Hermione, stop.
It's going to be my emotional support today.
Come over here. Come on, get her lay down. Get her lay down. Don't you touch the beaver. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Nope. Get her. Thank you. Lay down.
Justin says now Hermione thinks all of stuffed animals are hers because I buy her baby toys because that's the only toy she'll play with.
Can you leave the blankets where they go? Okay.
Okay.
Treats. It's Monday. There needs to be 3 treats, and I didn't get any. Aw.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the days that. What time is Dutch Bros open during the week? 6?
It opens up at 5.
Well, you're kind of out of luck on that because we have to be at work at 5.
We have to be at work at 5. Okay. Do you want to turn down the volume? Because I am getting distracted.
Sorry. I keep forgetting not to turn it down because.
Tataru, what do you have in your mouth?
Thank you, paper eater. Stop it. Stop.
So I had a doctor's referral on the table.
You almost said paper.
And Justin woke me up in the middle of the night because Tataru had turned on the TV. And also, she was sitting there chewing my referral.
Hi.
And so there's a part of my referral missing because she ate it. And apparently she just sat in front of the TV that was shining bright in the middle of the night and just stared at him.
You guys missed it because I made cheeseburger soup.
You did make cheeseburger
for dinner,
soup.
and I'm going to make chicken and dumplings.
It tastes good.
So we have
Hermione,
foods.
come here.
And then I'm going to make John and I some, they're chicken boats, but they're wrapped kind of like a lettuce wrap that I found on Facebook. So I told John I'm going to write down the cheeseburger soup recipe.
Sit.
Did I? Hi, Thomas. Thomas
Hi, Thomas.
made protein pancakes for dinner. Oh, nice. So yeah, I'm in a soup mood now because I'm sorry, but fall's here for me. I still got to put fabric up because I haven't done that yet. I'll have to figure out how to do it. But
Then she'll have like all week. So next week we're not gonna have an thing behind us because we already pre-recorded the episode.
yeah, so we did that.
And
already.
that one was a hoot and a holler.
Yeah, I thought it was going to bother me, but it really didn't.
Honestly, and I hate to say this.
Ooh, pizza soup
Ooh.
and lasagna soup. See that? Oh, chicken and dumplings. I'm making that right after. I'm going to take a shower, then make that because I have to be up at 4 to get to work by 5.
But no, we laughed out of uncomfortableness repeatedly last episode.
Yeah.
We were laughing because we were so uncomfortable
Do
by
we
the
want
last
to take
episode.
it off her now?
Yeah, come on, Hermione, come here.
Here. Come here, we take it off
Come here. I'll take it off of you.
because it's not thundering.
I will get rid of your mortal coil.
Oh, that was nice of you to say hi in her face. You're like, yeah, whatever. But,
Rubs up against it one
Right.
last time.
so yeah, so we had a little bit of uncomfortableness, and I don't. It's not posted. I have it set
Yeah, so
to
it'll
post
be.
on the 1st or 2nd. I can't remember the date I picked. Did it? Yeah, it just did that before we started, and she went nuts.
She started
lost her
barking
crap.
and everything. So we put her in a thunder jacket, and then she proceeded to lose it because she's in a thunder jacket
and likes to rub herself up against my couch and
to try to get it off.
to try to take it off. So the Velcro kind of, it doesn't rip the couch, but it rips the fabric a little bit. Yeah, I know. Lay down. Come here.
So, fun fact, I did not think I was going to be able to find the audio for the David Parker Ray.
Okay.
I did. Somebody actually requested it from the New Mexico Police Department, and it was put in an archive. So we now have the audio. I'm not going to be playing it. I'm going to probably play the beginning
Get that puppy some calm treats.
or some drugs. We've tried the calm treats. It doesn't work on her. We've also tried Benadryl. Does not work on her.
No.
She needs heavy drugs.
Just get her some cannabis. She'll be all right. That's
but
what
yeah.
we might have to use to get all the animals to move in the first place.
Yeah.
THC ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know they made them for pets until one of our coworkers, a driver at our store, said something about it. And I was like, okay, because I'm going to be trying to move 4 cats and a dog next year is not going to be the easiest task, but we'll figure it out. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You got the audio for David Parker?
Yes, I have the 4 minute and 40-second long audio tape.
Okay.
I am not going to be playing all 4 minutes because he does swear a lot in it. There is a lot of uncomfortable topics in it. I am probably going to just play you the first minute or 2. I am going to also quote it so you'll hear it again. I'm going to quote it in here because I did not think I would find it.
Okay.
But you'll hear his voice because fun little fact, this orientation tape that I found, he would blindfold them and he would put headphones on them with it playing. So they would listen to this before he even began. It was his orientation tape to what was going to happen to him. So there's a lot of things he talks about in the thing that he does to victims, that he did to victims. And fun little fact, he's technically not classified as a serial killer.
Okay.
He was never charged for murder. He was charged for kidnapping and torture.
Oh, wow.
They do believe he killed a bunch of people. Everyone in the police department feels that in their heart and soul.
Yeah.
But they never found bodies and they could never prove it. So they could never do anything about it. So we're going to get started on David David Parker Ray. And I don't remember.
I'm going to move this forward because I don't want you knocking our stuff over. Missy Prissy.
So
I think next week we have. No, we don't. That's right, because you'll be gone.
Yeah.
So I get a free week.
Mhm.
That gives me time to write my thing for 9/11 too, as well.
Yeah.
And I have to work tomorrow and Wednesday, but tomorrow I'm going to sit down and just a heads up for Thursday, because Abigail's going to be joining me Thursday on the J&M Adventures channel. I found the oldest conspiracy theory. I Googled it, but I found it and it was like 68 AD, I believe, or BC. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was like AD or something like that. So I found the oldest one. So I'm gonna try and do some research. I'm gonna do some research. We're gonna go research. God, stupid. What on? But yeah, no. And we're also kind of a little. I'm not as tired as I was earlier today because we both went on overnights to work.
Yeah.
So, hey Willow. Okay, well, no Willow, but we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do some recharge.
Yeah. So heads up.
Is that good?
So heads up. The case really messed up. There's going to be mentions and descriptions of SA and torture. This guy is like
Nope,
a
there she goes.
combination of different killers.
Yeah, come here.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you guys piece it all together. This guy is like the worst of the worst.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with a little summary about him and his life, and then we're going to talk about another important person in the case, and going to start going in detail about his life of crime. So, David Parker Ray, the toy box killer, was born November 6th, 1939 in Belen, New Mexico. He was a product of neglect, not just any kind of neglect, the severe kind, kind of like the person the last time we recorded. A lot of psychologists actually believe neglect has worse consequences on child development than more aggressive forms of abuse. So he was constantly passed from family member to family member. His mom didn't care about him. He also spent a lot of time with an aggressive and pretty abusive grandfather.
Okay.
So not only was he getting neglected, but during his periods of time when he was getting attention, he was getting really heavily abused. So as a result, he found comfort in journaling and writing, and he would write for hours at a time. And this actually will come back later in his life. He relied on a fantasy world he retreated to, and his fantasy world was his safe haven. His dad was also a pretty abusive alcoholic who wasn't really around, but when he showed up, he would be the ultimate asshole. He would beat up everyone, and then he would leave magazines for David. Not like the Mad Lib magazines or the Fun Kid magazines. No, they were the raunchy kind.
The fun
The
adult magazines.
Adult kind.
Wow.
And
how old was he again?
At this time, it started pretty young. I'm assuming probably 6. Like they never gave this specific age because it started happening that young.
Wow.
Because it wasn't like the Playboy magazines.
But like Hustler and probably
It was sadomasochist magazines.
Oh wow.
It was hardcore magazines.
That's horrible.
It was women being bound and tortured and beat up.
Oh, okay.
So this started to happen. So it did say, and when he was in 2nd grade. So he started getting all of these images in his head when he was in 2nd grade. He was young with all of these X-rated images in his mind. They eventually became a part of his fantasy, and he became more and more obsessed with it. So these magazines helped shape his idea on what sex and women were. He was a student at Montanier High School in Montanier, New Mexico, and he was bullied because he was shy. He kind of withdrew into himself, and he was also mostly shy around women, mainly because he did not know how to interact with them in a normal behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Did you hit yourself in the face?
I did. Hit me in the face. Her eyeball hit my glasses.
So he didn't know how to interact with them in a normal manner, and because he was exposed to such content early on, his fantasies, even when he was young, involved essaying women, torturing them, and even murdering them when he was in high school. So it was around this time his sister found his drawings that he used to draw, and this also again carries on later into his life. He used to draw women tortured and tied up and murdered. And when she found these drawings, she found erotic photos of bondage acts. If she told anyone, we're not sure because nothing happened. No one cared or did anything if she did tell anybody.
Yeah. She said gives you a hug. Oh, because
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So once he graduated high school, he worked at an auto mechanic, and he also attended the army where he received an honorable discharge. And when he was in the military, he worked as a general mechanic in the Army. He ended up marrying 4 times in his whole life and had 2 kids. I will give you a little information on the kids. The son, David Jr., changed his name and wanted nothing to do with his dad.
No, I don't blame him.
David also had a daughter, Glenda Jean Ray, who they also called Jessie. He was really close with his daughter.
Okay.
And I will talk about his daughter later on. But just in case like some questions popped up, because I know you asked one time about them.
Mhm.
This I did a little bit, but I will
Okay.
I will show you about this Jessie Jean Ray
Mhm.
later on,
Okay.
because she comes back into play.
Well, and I always ask because you always want to know, did these people have these serial killers and non-serial killers, whatever, if they had a family when they were doing all this, or were they just
Oh, he was doing this when he
alone?
was married.
Yeah, wow. Like if he was just by himself alone, like he had parents or whatnot, but
Yeah.
he never got married or had a girlfriend or had
Yeah,
kids
no.
or things like that. I'm always curious because in my mindset, I want to know exactly what the family thought when they found out. Like, how did the kids feel knowing
4
now that
kids and 2, and I'm gonna get into
David didn't
how
want
not only
anything to do
his
with him?
family reacted to the news,
Mhm.
but also how his coworkers reacted to the news. Yeah,
Wow.
because I will tell you, not expected reaction. After he got out of the Army, he started to work as a park ranger and a mechanic in the Elephant Butte State Park in New Mexico. David was known by his colleagues as being super chill and quiet.
We drive through there.
Yeah.
Elephant Butte. I call it Elephant, but
He worked at that state park,
well, okay.
and he was known for being super chill and quiet. He was that guy who would go out of his way to do favors for people. They thought he was so chill and such a nice guy and great guy
Mhm.
that when he was arrested for the kidnapping,
Mhm.
his boss put him on paid leave because they believed him so much that he did not do it.
That he didn't do it?
Yeah. They believed him so much they thought it was a mistake that they put him on a paid leave.
Wow.
Um,
Are you watching this, Willow?
he would also apparently throw insane parties. No one suspected he was a psychopath and that he was a sexual sadist.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know where this information comes from,
Mhm.
but it is speculated that when he was older, Viagra didn't come out until 1998. He apparently, after it was released, he called the Viagra hotline and asked if Viagra could help him achieve an erection without having to hurt someone. I don't know how that call ended. But can you imagine the person on the other end? Hey, can Viagra help me get an erection without hurting somebody? I'm sorry, what? I don't know where that story comes from, but
Sphincter says what?
yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
So that's a little bit of a background.
That's weird. That's disturbing.
We're gonna go into the second person I said we're gonna. I will say there are 5 major players in this case,
Okay.
and one of them is Cindy Hindi. I know, terrible fucking name.
You got made fun of.
So I'm gonna talk about Cindy. She was David's younger girlfriend when he was arrested. There was a notable age difference.
Okay, I was about to say how much younger?
She was born on February 6, 1969, and so the age difference between the two was 29 to 30 year age difference between the two. Yeah. She was born in Seattle, Washington, and she was ignored growing up by her beauty pageant obsessed mother. So her mom was obsessed with doing beauty pageants. And her mom was into the pageants, not her. So her mom didn't pay any attention to her. So there was some neglect going on.
Yeah.
But she was also psychologically abused, and she was also essayed by her stepfather.
Oh, jeez.
At 11 years old, she told her mom, and her mom didn't care. The stepfather said, I didn't do it, and so her mom kicked her out of the house at the age of 12.
Oh, jeez.
Cindy ended up on the streets, and she started dealing and doing cocaine pretty young. And she became pretty violent. I don't blame her.
I don't either, but come on.
She went through a bunch of violent relationships, and she was tiny. She was 105 pounds. But she was like pure muscle, apparently.
Oh,
Her ex-boyfriends and people who ran across her said she could easily beat the crap out of a 250-pound person.
Dang.
So she had a lot of anger, and she was willing to use it.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so. Her mom abandons her.
Yeah.
She's only worried about the stupid pageants.
And then
And
her daughter tells her what's happening to her, and she's like, I don't believe it.
then kicks her out at 12. Then I don't like these places, but then take her to an orphanage. Take her to somewhere where
Give her to a family
give
member.
her give her to somebody that will take her in and take care of her.
She did end up having a son at 16 while living on the streets.
Well,
And by her late 20s, she ended up having 2 more daughters, all by 3 different men. When the youngest was 10, she sent them to go live with their grandparents. Her mom and her stepdad. I don't know why she sent them to go. You know what? She was probably on drugs. I don't know. You know the amazing parents that kicked her out at 12, and her father, the stepfather who had essayed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sent them to go live with him. Well, in 1997, she was in deep crap for selling cocaine to an undercover agent, and she was around 37 years old at the time. So she was sent to a drug course, and she didn't go. So after leaving her kids, she left Seattle for New Mexico, and she became a bar rat. And she was just a crappy person in general. She got busted for a DUI and was sentenced to 30 days in jail with a 3-month probation and 50 hours community service upon arriving in Truth and Consequence, New Mexico.
These places, I'm sorry, I gotta stop you because these places that they come up with and they name them.
Yeah, Truth and Consequence.
Elephant Butte.
They name it T or C. The town locals call it T or C.
It's like, what?
Because Truth or Consequence is a really long name for a town.
Well, you should have thought about that before you chose it.
Yeah.
Some of the names. Oh my god.
So she was performing community service at the state park where David Parker Ray worked. He thought she was hot, and they actually became regulars at the Blue Water Saloon, which is a bar where locals and park employees hung out.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, they hit it off because they had something in common. They both like sadism.
I was gonna say, they wanted to kill people.
So by January 1999, Cindy moved into David's house, a house of horrors. They were actually only together for like 8 months when everything came out.
Oh.
So David, his thing, which we are going to get into, he had virtually perfected that his killing, and authorities believed he had been killing for at least 40 years.
Wow.
He had been doing this for 40 years because he didn't always kill his victims.
Okay.
He did leave some victims alive.
Okay.
But they do believe he killed between 40 to 60 women. And he began in his teenage years.
Yeah.
So David Ray Parker, kept detailed journals all throughout his adulthood. His diaries contained records of his crimes, including dates, times, and locations of where the kidnappings happened. He would detail the victims, stay in his house of horrors, and the torture he would inflict upon the women. He wouldn't just write how he tortured them and where he kidnapped them, but he would also write about whether they were turned loose after being tortured or if he killed them. But he never wrote where he put the bodies. So that's why they're pretty sure he killed, but they could never
find out where.
Prove it. Because when they tried to say, look, he said he killed people, he wrote, those were just fantasies.
He'd always have an answer.
Exactly.
He'd always have something to back,
So remember how I said he would turn women loose? I am going to tell you how he turned them loose and how he was not told on. Because if you turn the women loose, 100% those women are going to go back to the authorities.
He probably threatened them.
Well, we're going to it's a lot more sinister than that.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to get to that.
Excuse me.
Are
we? We're going to get to that, John.
So he was, like I stated previously, he was a mechanic. And so he would build things and engineer things. So he did do that a lot with his toy box room. There have no been bodies found as of yet. He lived near a lake and also a vast desert. And he worked at a state park. So 3 great dumping grounds.
Do you want up here?
He was also close to a Chichawan desert, which
Yeah.
is the third largest desert in the Western Hemisphere
Okay.
and the second largest in North America, just after the Great Basin Desert.
Oh, okay.
It also has a lot of caves in it, which people can easily hide their misdeeds. So he was literally next to 4 really great dumping spots.
Huh.
So now let's get into it. On May 22nd at 3:22 p.m., a 911 operator in Sierra County, New Mexico, received a weird call. It came from a residential area, but the caller wasn't responding. All the operator hears is a scuffle and a fight happening, and the line was clearly off the hook. The operator was like, "All right, something's weird." Because after the scuffle, the phone hung up.
Mm.
She goes, "Okay, that's weird." So she called the number back. A woman answered, and she sounded annoyed, and she sounded out of breath. And it was clear something was happening. She told the dispatcher she accidentally phoned 911 and everything was just fine, and she hung up real quick.
Mm.
The dispatcher was like, "Something weird is happening." And she was like, "Nope." So she called the local police and she reported the situation and requested a welfare check to the location.
Okay.
So Deputy David Alstein was sent to 513 Bass Road in Elephant Butte, New Mexico. So while Deputy Alstein is on his way, 2 state park employees, Chris DeGasse and Michael Anford, hear some stuff is happening on the radio. So they set off to help Deputy Alstein's assistance, to help give him assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Because park rangers at the time, they don't really have a lot to do. There's not a police, because these are in, this isn't a rural town. So there's not a lot of police force. So sometimes the state parks will help out in this case. So when they got near the address, all 3 of them got near the address, they noticed there was a car pulled off to the side of the road, and there was a woman there waving down the vehicle, and she came over and started to talk to them. She was upset and flustered, and she was weirded out.
Okay.
She said that she had seen a naked woman covered in blood with a chain on her neck running down the road. They heard what this lady was saying, and they said, "Stay here, more officers are coming," and they left her there at the car. So they ended up being first to arrive. The 2 park rangers were the first to arrive at 513 before Deputy Alstein. Now I want you to picture a house in the desert with a chain link fence and a "Beware of Dog" sign, and a wooden sign like at the state park that says David P. Ray, 513 Bass Road.
Okay.
The house is dirty and in shambles. It's a single story with a metal roof. Picture that.
Okay.
When DeGasse and Lanford walked up, they knocked on the door and no one appeared to be home. And while they were waiting for the police to show up, something else on the scanner went off. 911 received another call about a naked, bloody woman with a chain around her neck running down another road in the area.
Mm.
She was knocking on doors, trying to get into people's car as they passed her, and they would accelerate to get away from her. So Deputy Alstein arrived at the residence, and the park rangers were like, "No one seems to be home." And Olstein said, "That's weird, because 911 just got a call from here." So Sierra County sheriffs arrived on scene, and all 4 were searching the perimeter of the home. They opened the door to make sure no one needed help inside, because that's probable cause. They got a call, and now there's nobody there answering their text. They had probable cause to enter. And that's why they didn't need a warrant to enter.
Mm.
No one was there, but police did find interesting things. Every window was covered in a heavy, dark shade that kept all the light and visibility out of the house. The living room looked like a hoarder's house in all its grossness. In the living room was a bed, a weird, out-of-place bed. There was broken glass near it and a broken lamp near it as well. The mattress was also completely stained in blood, and there was a bloody ice pick laying on the floor next to the bed.
Oof.
Now, in each of the 4 corners of the bed, there were shackles and padlocks arranged in a way that would keep someone spread equal if they were attached to them. Above the bed was a pulley kind of system where chains and hooks were dangling from against the wall. Near it was a human-sized, I misspelled that. There were restraints and shackles, and it was clearly to hold someone there. So there was clearly a struggle, but they couldn't make sense of what they were seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So they took a look around another room. They found a pegboard on the wall with a cork board. And there were a bunch of torture devices. Most of them appear to be DIY. Jagged scrap metal. So the police kept going further in the home. Because now they're getting really concerned. In one of the bedrooms, there were two great chains hanging from the ceiling, with more hooks, restraints, and chains all around them. The walls were covered in photos of hardcore, disturbing adult imaging, mixed with crude drawings of women getting tortured. There was also a bed and a dresser. The top of the dresser had a bunch of things on top of it, including pliers, scissors, clamps, harnesses, muzzles, and various adult toys in all shapes and sizes.
Jeez.
While all of this is being discovered, another 911 comes in from a woman who said, "I'm calling for a young lady that just ran into my house. She's saying that she's been SA'd. She's got a chain on her neck. Send someone right away."
So she finally was able to get in somewhere.
She says they have been holding her for 3 days. So Sierra County Deputy Peter Boatswitz responded to the call because they were sending people everywhere looking for this naked woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when Deputy Peter gets to the residence where the call came from, she said there was an elderly man waving him into the residence. The home was of an elderly couple. He said the woman had barged into her home in a blind panic and was begging them to help her. And his wife Darlene made the call. And he said his wife was there trying to calm the girl down.
Mm-hmm.
The girl ran out of the front door to the officer wearing a pink robe that was draped over her,
Oh,
and he could see she was cut, bruised, and beaten with blood all over her.
that was very nice of the couple to take her serious and help her.
Yeah, she had a metal collar around her neck that was secured with a padlock, and there was a chain attached that was about 5 feet long. When she ran out of the house, she screamed at the officer, "Please don't let them get me."
Mm.
The woman had been running around naked, was 22-year-old Cynthia Vigil.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up as the last known survivor of David Ray Parker and his girlfriend, Cindy Hindi. She was kidnapped by the couple days earlier, and she said they had chained her up in their home, and she said she was repeatedly SA'd and viciously tortured throughout all 3 days. She didn't know the address where she was held. She didn't see their faces, but she knew by that they went by the names of Dave and Cindy. She said to the police officers, "He's one of you," because he was a park ranger and their uniforms look a lot similar to the police's. So when
Mm-hmm.
she saw the police officer, she goes, "He's one of you." Can you imagine being a police officer?
Yeah.
And you're seeing this woman in her the status, the way she is, and here go looking at pointing at you and going,
He's
"He's
one
one
of
of you."
you. That's creepy. Because I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that she couldn't see their faces, but
Well, no, she
going
did
off.
see their faces. I think I mistyped that. She did see their faces.
Okay. And then the whole, like, but yeah, to come out of a house, again, great for that couple to take her in and take her
Well,
seriously like
she
they did.
forced her way in, apparently. She like
Yeah.
pushed her way in, and at that point, they're like, "I think there's a problem here."
Yeah. And then, they help her out a little bit, giving her a robe one to cover up, which was nice. And then, but looking at a park ranger or police officer saying he's one of you,
And
that would be like give you chills. Like, okay,
who can I trust and who can I not trust?
exactly. It gives you that thought process and that point of like looking at, you say Jim Bob and Bob Jim, we'll just call him that.
And
Look at
going,
each
who
other, like looking at each other's like,
is it
wait a
you?
minute, can I trust you? Can I
Yeah.
not trust you? You know?
I am going to go into more details about her abduction later on. And because it's an intense story how her abduction happens. So another park ranger named Byron Wilson was getting ready to leave for the day, and he was like, "No, I can't go home," because he heard the scanner about the naked woman in the address, and he knew that address belonged to a fellow park rangers. So he decided to go help. And as he drove to the
You're
home,
okay.
he saw a cream-colored motorhome with 2 people inside of it. And he went, "You know what? I know that driver." Inside the motorhome was 59-year-old David Ray Parker and his girlfriend Cindy. As they were passing by each other, they waved at each other. And then he went to the residence and he realized it was David Parker's
He's like,
property.
oh
And he was
crap.
like, "Well, shit, I just passed him." And then he notified the police and he was like, "He's probably fleeing." So they raced to the area where Wilson was just at, and they were trying to approach from all sides. And it ended up being Wilson who found them again. They were going through the town. They decided to cut through the town. They didn't go through the desert. They, like everyone thought they were,
Yeah.
they decided to drive through the town. So Wilson pulls them over and the motorhome was surrounded, and he was ordered to get out of the vehicle on a loudspeaker, and he yelled back, David yelled back, "This isn't necessary." When David finally got out, he was immediately arrested, and Cindy got out too, but she had a huge gash above her left ear, and she was also immediately arrested. But she was taken to the hospital, and David was taken to the Richard R. Cooper Boat Safety Training Center, which was located in the state park because it was closer and it had better resources than the local police department.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
Yeah.
You gotta take them somewhere to get better resources. Come
Yeah.
on.
So the local police department was not equipped to handle a case like this. They had no idea what they were doing. They had seen inside that home. They had heard what this lady said. They had already were looking at each other like, she said he's one of us.
Yeah.
So what
Your
they,
mind is like, one, blown.
yeah,
Two, you're like, wait a minute.
this
We
is
work with
happening in
this
my
dude.
town. What is
Yeah,
happening?
this is a guy that we work with and that we talk to and hang, if they hung out. It's like you're trying to put the piece together. How? Like,
Yeah.
how can it be this person?
And so they called the New Mexico State Police for assistance, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
The state police criminal investigator, Wesley Luckwester, arrived around 6 p.m. to the place where they were holding him, and he said, Stop. Stop talking to him. Don't talk to him. The first person they needed to hear from was the victim, Cynthia Vigil. Cynthia was at the hospital. She had been there since 4 p.m., and she just repeated to herself over and over again, I'm safe here. I'm safe here. I'm safe here.
Wow.
She hadn't eaten for days, and when they did give her food, she threw it right up. She was covered in cuts and bruises. She had a lot of external injuries like burns, puncture wounds.
And you think about it, her throwing it all up because her body's in shock. She hasn't eaten for 3 days. Your body's going to have a hard time. So it's going to be one of those, maybe for her at that time, IVs for her, to get her hydrated and get her going again to where she can go to the bathroom and things. But it sounds like to me they're going to have to like not feed.
Do an IV drip food.
Yeah.
The liquid diet until she can cold food.
Yep.
So she was covered in cuts and bruises. She had a lot of external injuries like burns, puncture wounds, cuts, bruising, but none of them were fatal. It was actually the collar that was causing the most distress. The hospital had a maintenance employee cut it off with bolt cutters. When it came off, she grabbed it and threw it across the room. And once it was off, she seemed to calm down a lot more.
Good. Yeah.
Now remember, Cindy had a gash, so she was taken to the hospital. It was the same hospital that Cynthia was at.
Oh, no.
They escorted Cindy by Cynthia's room, and Cynthia started screaming, "That's her. Don't let her in. She's here for me."
Oh.
So as they were walking by Cynthia's room, Cindy informed doctors that she had been hit in the head with a lamp, and she was treated and released back to police custody. Before they got her out, Cindy actually pointed at Cynthia and said, "That girl should be checked out because that bitch is on heroin." She was brought to where David was at the training center, so they started to interview Cynthia first. And she told them she had lost her mom when she was really young, and she was really close to her mom, so she took the death hard. And she did turn to drugs to cope, and she became estranged from most of her family, and she was working as a sex worker to get by. She admitted she was a heroin user and had used it for 2 days before her abduction. She told the police on March 20th, somewhere between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., she had been walking to a restaurant in Albuquerque, and she was passing through a parking lot when she ran into someone she was kind of familiar with, and the guy pointed at a motorhome and said, "There's a dude in there that would like to hire you for your services for the evening." And she was like, "I have no money and I need some," and so she said, "Sure." She went over to the motorhome and she said the man behind the wheel was older and was tan, and he was very wrinkly, like sun-baked skin, hair slicked back, light hair, and a bushy mustache. They discussed price and he introduced himself as Dave. And she said he was normal, very nice, and everything was fine. Until they left the parking lot and he showed her a badge. And he said he was an undercover cop and she was under arrest for solicitation. When he did this, Cindy appeared from behind a curtain and tried to handcuff her. But she fought back and she said, you guys are fake. You're not fucking cops." And she started fighting. He had to pull over the motorhome, and David got one hand handcuffed on her wrist and then dragged her to the back of the RV. He tried to handcuff her to a pipe that was fitted to the back of the RV, but she kept fighting. So Cindy appeared with a cattle prod and threatened her with it.
Mm.
Dave begins driving and Cindy's in the passenger seat. But Cynthia wasn't going to go down without a fight. She kept messing with the restraints, the handcuffs, and she saw that the screws that were holding the pipe were loosening as she was messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
So she slowly started to turn them until she took them all out. She was able to slip off the pipe, but right as she did so, the motorhome stopped at a traffic light. She fell back into a wall, and the noise got Cindy out of her seat. And when she went back there, she used the cattle prod to make her compliant. Then she stripped her naked, duct taped her mouth, and changed her to another part of the motorhome. She said the drive was very long, and they stopped once for gas. Cindy used a gun and she screamed that they would just kill her. When they finally got to Dave's home, it ended up about 150 miles from where she was abducted.
Jeez.
So Dave had pulled into the motorhome up to the house so she couldn't see what was happening. They shackled her ankles and forced her into the house really quickly. She was then led down a hallway to a living room with striped wallpaper. She said there was a bed tucked into the corner of the room, among other things, and that's when the collar was placed on her neck. The end of the 5-foot chain was gained to a hook on the wall over the bed. She was then forced on the bed and chained to the four corners bedspread spread eagle. They then blindfolded her and gagged her.
Mm.
She suddenly heard a tape recorder turn on, and I'm going to read some of it. And this is what it says. This is what the beginning says. Hello there, bitch. Are you comfortable right now? I doubt it. Wrists and ankles chained, gagged, probably blindfolded. You're disoriented and scared, I would imagine. Perfectly normal under the circumstances. For a little while, at least, you need to get your shit together and listen to the tape. It is very relevant to your situation. I'm going to tell you in detail why you've been kidnapped, and what's going to happen to you, and how long you'll be here. I don't know the details of your capture because this tape is being created July 23rd, 1993. Remember, this was 1999, so
Okay.
it's been a little bit. But also, pay attention to the verbiage that's used.
Okay.
You guys too. As a general advisory tape for future female captives, the information I'm going to give you is based on my experiences dealing with captives over a period of several years now.
Mhm.
You're obviously here today against your will. Totally helpless. Don't know where you're at. Don't know what's going on, what's going to happen to you. You're very scared or very pissed off. I'm sure that you've tried to get your wrists and ankles loose and know you can't. Now you're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. You probably think you're going to be essayed, and you're fucking sure right about that. Our
Jeez.
Our primary entry is what you've got between your legs. You'll be essayed thoroughly and repeatedly. I'm going to skip to another part because
Okay.
the rest of that is pretty fucking awful.
Okay.
You've been snatched and brought here for us to train and use as a sex slave. Sounds kind of far out. Well, I suppose it is to the uninitiated, but we do it all the time. It's going to take a lot of adjustments on your part, and you're not going to like it one fucking bit, but I don't give a big fucking rat's ass that about that. It's not like you have any choice in the matter. You've been taken by force and you're going to be kept and used by force. What this amounts to is you're going to be kept naked and chained like an animal to be used and abused anytime we want, any way we want. And you might as well be getting used to it because you're going to be kept here until such a time we get fucking tired of you. And we will eventually, in a month or two, maybe 3, it's no big deal. Also, remember he met Cindy in 1997.
Mm.
And he recorded this in 1993, so listen to this part. My lady friend and I have been keeping sex slave for years. We both have kinky hang-ups involving SA, dungeon games, etc. We find it extremely convenient to keep 1 or 2 female captives available constantly to satisfy our particular needs. That is when um I'm not reading most of it. I will bring up another small part of it when it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
That tape, so that part that I just read is a total of 5 minutes.
Wow.
Cynthia said, he told me I was never going to see my family again, that he would kill me just like the others. Cynthia said she was led into a room with whips and other torture equipment, with like actual medical equipment they would use for autopsies too.
Oh wow.
She was hung up by chains where she was essayed and tortured while hanging on the chains. They used an old motor to give her electrical shocks for extended periods of time. She said it was so bad she passed out. She said when she was not being essayed, they would chain her by the bed by all four limbs and her neck, and they sat next to her and watched TV on the couch casually. Throughout the whole thing, David took multiple photos of the torture while it was happening. He also showed her the images of other women that he had taken. They woke up on the morning of March 22nd, the third day she was there, and saw David wearing a uniform she thought was a police uniform, but it was actually a park ranger uniform.
Mm.
Before he left, he said they had a special surprise for Cynthia, his toy box. This toy box had been talked about a little bit around Cynthia, but she didn't know what it was, though. When David left, he thought that Cynthia was too weak and exhausted to try anything, so he removed the chains from her legs and arms, but left the collar attached to the wall. So when she was alone with Cindy for the whole day, Cindy just sat around and watched TV. And that's when Cindy got a call at 3 p.m. and she placed the keys to Cynthia's chain on the coffee table. So Cindy was just talking on the phone in the other room, and Cynthia took the moment to stretch her leg out, wrap her foot around the leg of the table, and pull it to her. She grabbed the keys, and instead of immediately unlocking it, she was like Cynthia could come in at any moment. So she started to push the table back to where it originally was, hoping that if it was back to its original spot, Cindy wouldn't notice the keys were missing.
Mm-hmm.
As her leg was outstretched, pushing the table, Cindy walked in. She saw her and was pissed. She dropped the phone and she tried to get the keys from Cynthia's hand, and Cynthia wouldn't let go. So Cindy grabbed the lamp and hit Cynthia in the head with it. The lamp shattered on impact, and Cynthia, hopped up on adrenaline, did not feel it. When they wrestled, Cynthia grabbed the phone and dialed 911, that original phone call
Mm-hmm.
that was placed, and that was the scuffle that was heard. Cindy ended the call and Cynthia grabbed an ice pick that was just lying on the floor and she slashed Cindy on the back of her head with it. So Cindy, being dazed, Cynthia took the opportunity to unlock her chain and run out of the house.
See, Cynthia and Cindy, I was getting confused. I'm like, okay, who's who?
Cindy bad, Cynthia good.
Okay, because I'm like, but right when you said Cynthia's the one that unlocking, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, now I know who the difference.
So Cynthia took the ice pick and just went like that to the back of Cindy's head.
Damn.
Yeah. She took the opportunity to unlock her chains and ran out of the house. She had no idea where she was, so she just started running. And that's when she finally sees Donald and Darlene's home. She runs into the door and begged Darlene not to let them take her. Darlene said her wrists looked like hamburger meat.
Mm.
She had beautiful long brown hair and it was all matted with blood. She was dirty all over and her breasts were black and blue. There were more bruisings on her arms and legs, and Donald heard the commotion and ran out of the bedroom to see everything, and Cynthia begged him to take the collar off. He said he really wanted to, but he felt it was something the police should do. He was the one that grabbed the pink bathrobe to give to her.
Mm.
Darlene called 911, and while they waited, Cynthia hid under the kitchen table.
Mm.
So, this interview was done by Wesley LaQuester, and after he questioned her and heard all of this, he went to where David and Cindy were being held in separate rooms in the Boat Safety Training Center.
Mm-hmm.
They both claimed they kidnapped her, but they claimed they did it to help her in stopping her heroin use. So both were charged with one charge of kidnapping, one count of sexual penetration, and 2 counts of conspiracy.
Of course, they're gonna try to make it look like they were heroes
Yeah.
and they were good people. Trying to, oh, she had a heroin addiction, so we're
So
trying to help her
by torturing her?
yeah. Is that your form of torture to get somebody off of heroin? I highly doubt that.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, lady.
What?
Officer's word. You're both under arrest for torture. Slowly walking away from the lady. Continue, please.
Yeah, just make sure to stir it. Should be done.
After they were being charged, they were taken to Sierra County Criminal Detention Center, and that's when they stopped cooperating. They just stopped talking. So on March 23rd, 7:30 p.m., the search warrant for David Ray Parker's property was officially approved.
Nice.
The house was disgusting and cluttered with trash. It had a master bedroom and a smaller bedroom, a kitchen, a living room, and a bathroom. The clothing Cynthia had been wearing when she was kidnapped was found in the bedroom with a lot of other stuff. There was actually 401 items that did not belong to Cindy or David, a lot of it jewelry and clothing.
Wow.
I don't know if you saw her. You didn't see her eyes. The moment I said 401 items, her eyes went wide.
That's okay.
Fun fact. If you go to the FBI's database and you look up David Parker Ray, you can look up at photographs of every single item they have because they are still looking for the possible victims. And because he did not give the victims names, so they have like pendants and stuff that they're basically like, if you know whose pendant this is, contact us.
Oh,
And they have
wow.
multiple different photos of the items.
Wow.
And it's mostly of the jewelry. They did not take any pictures of the clothes. Oh, shoot.
What happened?
I forgot the code to get into the tablet.
Oh no.
I couldn't remember it. I know what I described in the house was a lot already, guys.
Okay.
I know that. I'm quite aware of that.
But there's more.
There's something even more gruesome. Because beside the house was a large 25-foot white semi-truck trailer with a huge steel deadbolt on it.
Mm-hmm.
A locksmith was brought in to unlock it. And when they opened it, they realized they had found the toy box.
Oh, okay.
When you walked in, there were signs on the doors that said Satan's Den and Bondage Room.
Hey, don't even.
Hey, BDSM and this is completely different.
Yeah.
BDSM requires consent on both parties' things. This is not.
This is not non-consensual. Learn something.
So the main feature in this room was
nothing compared to 50 Shades.
Yeah.
At all.
There's if you practice BDSM, you practice BDSM.
There's no comparison.
This is not BDSM. This is
straight out torture.
Even Sato,
and
even those like magazines he was given as a child, those women gave consent to have those things done to them.
Mhm.
This is a whole
It's
other
not
level.
consensual, which is what he did not get.
Yeah. So the main feature in the toy box was a DIY gynecologist chair. It was black and had stirrups and cables with electrodes and straps all over it. There was a small track so someone could slide it forward and backward. On the ceiling was a large mirror above the chair so the victim could see what was happening.
I'm sorry. No.
That's not the worst of it. Every square inch was covered in various methods of torture. There were leg spreaders, branding irons, leather belts, paddles, clamps, sandpaper, saw blades, needles.
What? Back it up. What? Sandpaper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saw blades, needles, suction cups.
Wait. Okay, there's going to be a lot of what coming up?
Yes.
Sandpaper.
Saw blades.
Saw blades.
Needles.
Okay.
Suction cups.
Okay.
Forceps.
Okay.
Whips.
Okay.
And speculums.
Okay.
Speculums are what they use during a pap smear. That thing that goes inside and
open. I will never want one of those in me ever again.
Oh no. That's the thing that takes the piece of. Yeah. There were several syringes and bottles of ammonia and chloroform. The place was filled with sex toys that were made from metal, wood, and plastic.
Okay, they need to take the ammonia. I know what you just said. I heard all that. Okay, but ammonia and chloroform, chloroform, right? That should be something to where they should not be allowed to buy. Period.
Chloroform. Yeah.
I know what it is.
Chloroform. It's actually now they heavily monitor
But I'm
it.
gonna think of it as that now. Thank you, Angela.
They heavily
a duck.
monitor it. They heavily monitor chloroform. Ammonia can be found in cleaning supplies. Now I am going to talk about them.
I would lock up the ammonia. I'm sorry.
The hillside stranglers. Have you ever heard of them? They're the
No,
victims.
but we probably will.
Yeah, we probably will. They would. It was. Spoiler alert: 2 people who were killing. They were cousins.
Apparently.
One of the ways they would kill their one of the ways that because they were experimenting, they injected Windex into their victims to see how the people reacted.
Well, they probably could see better. Just saying, because you did Windex. I'm joking. That's okay.
Terrible joke.
Yeah, it was. What?
Yeah.
Can you not read the side of the bottle? 1, it says keep away from children. 2, it says do not ingest.
They wanted to see what would happen. They wanted to see what would happen to their victim.
Probably make them very sick.
Yeah.
Very, very sick.
They wanted to experiment with it. They were. So most likely, I hate to say it, he was injecting ammonia in the women.
Can we just do what serial killers do to their victims to them? Just asking. That's not.
Here's where we're gonna get into one of the more. He built this. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. He built this.
Well, yeah, you said he built it out of.
He built a whole bunch of things.
Wood, and whatever.
There was a 15-inch male appendage that was motorized.
Well, yeah, I know. It's at Walmart, and we should lock it up.
15...
I'm sorry if there's. I'm sorry. if there's a lot of cases that crap like that pops up, and they're using household chemicals, it should be locked up. No joke, and there should be an age. I'm sorry. Yes, it's going to make the cashier's job a little bit more difficult, and all you people are going to get annoyed because I brought that up and I said that. But you should not be allowed to buy it if you are not over a certain age.
So did you catch what I said about the male appendage?
I heard that part.
Yeah. Yes. It was motorized and was found to have different settings.
Oh my God. Okay.
There were ropes, pulleys, handcuffs, and chains everywhere. In one corner, there was a handmade contraption, seemingly to bend someone over against their will.
Ow.
There were medical books on anatomy and adult magazines everywhere. There was lipstick, mouthwash, perfume, shampoo, and baby lotions everywhere too.
Okay. No, never mind. I'm not going to ask. Just keep going.
What were you going to ask?
I was going to say, I can understand. Okay, the mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get that. And then the shampoo, all that stuff. Okay, why the lipstick? What's the like to dress them up? Because,
yeah.
Okay.
A corkboard with a corkboard with images of other women being tortured and drawings of his fantasies, all drawn by David Ray Parker. Scattered on the wall was also medical photos of anatomy and detailed diagrams of torture. One of the large metal drawers pulled out to reveal a slab like what's found at a morgue. One of the most disturbing pieces of paper that was found in the toy box was a list of instructions that was found on the wall that detailed how to use a tool to inflict maximum damage to a woman's breast. It said, "The process is very painful due to the constant motion. The body will not adjust to the pain. During the operation, the subject will remain on an extremely painful duress." So basically, he was finding ways to torture women. A sign above these said, "The lure of Satanism," and he had placed 2 fake skulls nearby with candles. Hung up on one of the walls was a black robe with a red cape and a Barbie doll wrapped in chains.
Okay.
There was also a clipboard with a list of names, and with it was also the words of encouragement for David. It read, "Remember, a woman will do or say anything to get loose. They will kick, scratch, offer money, bite, yell, scream, run, offer sex, threaten, lie, wait for opportunity. Standard excuses are sob stories, menstruating, pregnant, venereal disease, AIDS, sick kids with babysitter, have to work, a sick baby, a sick parent, claustrophobia, missed by my husband, a friend, bad heart, can't miss school. Don't let her go. If she is worth taking, she is worth keeping, and she must be subjected to hypnosis before the woman can be safely released. Never trust a chained captive."
Okay. And that was word of encouragement for him?
That was words of encouragement for him.
Those don't sound like words of encouragement.
So
Okay.
I am gonna do a small quote from his orientation tape.
Okay.
Whatever you say, I'm not going to believe it. That's one of the quotes. He literally said in there.
Oh, if I
Whatever.
was like, "Is there more?"
No,
You were like, "Stop
that's
right there."
all. He literally says, "Whatever you say, I'm not going to believe it."
Okay.
And then he does list the whole. You can. He goes, "Women will," and he does list that in his thing.
Oh wow.
There was also an old TV that was mounted to the wall at the foot of the chair and had a video camera on a tripod facing the chair. The trailer was soundproof, and while the police went in, they realized this was not something they could handle. It was not something they'd ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So they called the FBI. And they went to town gathering evidence. It was so bad the FBI actually called in the behavioral science unit, which was used for cases like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
The BAU.
So everything in the toy box was virtually handmade.
Mm-hmm.
One of these things was a leg spreader. And if a woman tried to close her legs, there were spikes on the bar that would impale her legs.
You.
And beside that, I'm sorry, they found a Freddy Krueger glove that he had made and named it Freddy Krueger glove. It had blades on the fingers and everything.
Nope. Nope.
Another thing was a toy that was handmade. It was an adult toy. It was made with PVC pipe. It was big. He had marked the inch bit by inch, like he had marked it. He had melted it, so there were nails inside of it, so it kind of looked like a Negan bat. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Yeah, because I've watched Walking Dead, so I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
He used that on his victims.
Again, can we just use it on him?
So remember, that transcript I read, that orientation, is 19 pages. Don't read it. Don't listen to it. So remember that beware of dog sign I mentioned?
Yeah.
And remember that contraption that would force a woman to be bent over?
Uh-huh.
Well, in his orientation, he did talk about how he would throw parties. And sometimes he would put the women in the contraption in the toy box.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would spray beating spray on the women. And he would let the dogs have their way with them in front of the people he was throwing the party with.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I hope
And
you're getting butt raped in prison.
He also, I will say, in the tape, I did almost start crying at this part because I'm a huge animal lover and people lover, and both of this really fucked me up.
That's why we're
He
taking
went
a
into
week off
great
from this.
he went into great detail about it too in the orientation tape. So that women, if he did it to them, they would know what it felt like.
You one sick.
Yeah.
I hate
And
the
the
B
fact
word,
that
but
he
I'm gonna
said
say
he did it
bastard.
in front of other people, how did nobody know?
Yeah, not only that, why would you go to his party? If you sit there and see this and you watch it happening in front of you, why did you not call the cops? Why did you not say something? That's
We're actually gonna get into that. So that's it on the toy box. We're done with the toy box.
animals. We are lovers of animals.
And people,
And
except
people.
some people.
Like this guy.
So
Sicko.
most of everything we know is from Cindy. So the FBI, the Behavioral Science Unit, wanted to interview them. And Cindy was like, the FBI, I'll talk. I'll be interviewed by the Behavioral Science Unit. Cindy said she knew that David was a sick dude when she started dating him, and that he informed her about the stuff he had done for 30, 40 years before they met. Like, can I just ask, if you're dating somebody, when is the appropriate time to be like, I've been a serial killer for 30 to 40 years. I torture women for fun. for the past 30 to 40. What, do you bring that up on the first date? Do you do that like 8 dates in? Do you take her home first?
Let her meet mom and pa,
What do you?
and then bring it up.
I'm sorry. And how did she not run?
Because she's just sick herself.
She was also sick herself.
She's sick. Because that's dude. I mean, come on. If a guy tells you
that I've been torturing women for 30 to 40 years, why are you still with him?
and again, remember we said in the Edmund Kemper, the laughing that we do, and the Arnie Johnson that the laughing. I'm laughing because I'm baffled, and a lot of this is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But it just baffles me of how I'm gonna say stupid.
It's completely different.
You never watched
Consent is a key.
You never watched it, so be quiet. But the whole fact of it is that how can you? I'm agreeing with Abigail on this one. How can you not, one, call the cops, two, leave? Like, nope, we ain't doing
We're
this.
done.
We're done. That's not happening.
Did she bring up? Oh yeah, I like sadism. I like hurting people.
Yeah. Did she bring up herself things that she liked, and maybe?
And then he was like,
why?
"Ooh, I feel a similar soul." Because like I don't know if any of you have watched Dexter, where Dexter can tell who's a killer. He gets the vibe. He gets the feeling. And he's like, other killers get the feeling when they sense him because they know who he is. It's like a monster recognizes a monster. And I wonder if when they saw each other, they went. It's like Fred and Rose West.
Mm-hmm.
Did the monster in her acknowledge the monster in him?
Could have. I mean, there's a TV show that does that. No joke. There's a TV show I was watching, and I don't know. I don't think it was Sandman, but it was a dude that had teeth for eyes,
Corinthian, that was Sandman.
and he was a killer. And which, by the way, you should watch Sandman. It's really, really good. I like it. It's good. But he was a killer, and they had a killer convention.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking killer convention. I'm like, okay, what like what else do they have out there? Then you learn they have this cracks me up. Is a stripper convention that women can go to,
Mm-hmm.
and it have fun. You have like a girls' weekend. I'm like, where in the hell is that at? Because never heard about that before. A killer convention, never heard of anything like that before. Regular conventions like Tucson Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, Phoenix Comic Con, those I've heard of. I've been to those. Well,
I
not
wonder
to
if
San
there
Diego.
is a serial killer convention. I wonder if because like I wonder if it's true if killers recognize other killers and they're like, I see you.
You know what we're gonna look
I
at?
know you.
We'll do some research, and then the next time you see us live, we'll give you the answer if there is one.
Yeah. So she
Don't step on our donuts. Okay. We targeted to Tartar. She's on top of our counter.
so Cindy said that David had made it pretty clear that he believed he owned all women. The women were solely for giving him pleasure. You good? You choking?
Beautiful shit. Oh my god.
He told Cindy about his first murder that was committed when he was 19 to 20 years old.
And why would you not see that's a red flag?
I know. He told her that
He's voluntarily telling you that he killed people for meeting you.
Oh, he goes into detail. He said that he had abducted a girl at random, tied her to a tree, essayed her, beat her, and strangled her to death. He told Cindy he loved the process of it, including the murder part.
Oh my god.
He realized striking at random was not the best idea because that might get him caught, so he started to target specific women.
Really, David? It took you that long to figure that out?
He would target sex workers because the idea that, remember the Bayou Strangler, that sex workers are less than?
Yeah.
That they're not real people?
Yep.
Same kind of process. Yep. They're less dead due to their occupation. Cindy did say that David had a type. He liked women who were physically attractive. His type was Latin or Asian women with a larger chest. So before he moved to where he was now, he lived in Fence Lake, New Mexico, which was a population of like 50. It's mostly ranches and farms. David claimed he was interviewed by the FBI in connection to the disappearance and homicide of a ton of women in the area. They interviewed him because of a tip that he was part of a trafficking slash slavery slash murderer ring.
Jeez.
And that tip was David had been kidnapping women and trafficking them. It was alleged that this tip came from his daughter Jessie.
Okay.
So I'll get into that. But apparently, after she did that, she called the tip in. She flipped to the opposite side. She started siding with her dad.
Okay.
He didn't leave. He was smart when it came to what he was doing. There was no evidence, so the investigation just stopped. He told Cindy that he had talked his way out of the situation, basically saying he got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, he moved around a lot. He left the ranch and became a drifter. He worked in Alaska, working in a drilling job. This whole time, he was using a police badge to kidnap and torture women everywhere he went.
Mm.
David told Cindy he killed 30 people over 40 years. He said that 18 of them was in Sierra County, where they were living. He said bodies could be found in Texas, Arizona, and Alaska.
What? Why? Okay. Alaska? Of all
Think
places.
No, think about it. Alaska is perfect. They do, as much as I hate to say it, because of the drilling company, they do have a high sex work population because of the drillers that work there on and off.
Mm.
But also, think about it. It's not densely populated.
Hmm.
They have that serial killer that would shoot people who he would have the women run through the forest and then he would hunt them through the forest.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you didn't know about that one?
No.
Yeah, there's that one.
Surprise! Fun fact.
Yeah, he would let them loose. He would kidnap them and said, he goes, if you can get away from me, I'll let you go. And then he would let them loose in the forest. He knew the forest really well, and he would take a hunting rifle and hunt them.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. Real fun. Um,
You're fun.
Texas and Arizona also apparently have bodies in them.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes kind of. I mean, we have a acid lake, so.
We do. We also have a bunch of desert. So she told police that he was meticulous when it came to removing ties or connections to himself from these victims, and he would remove all ways of identifying them so they couldn't be identified. That was the 401 items that were found.
That just baffles me. 401 freaking items.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're keeping trophies for yourself.
Mm-hmm. He told stories to Cindy about various murders throughout the years, like shooting girls in the back of the head. He told her in one instance when dumping a body, he didn't say where. He said he threw it in a ravine, he tossed some dirt over it and left it and was like, I really like to keep that girl's skull as a trophy. So he went back to get it, but when he got there was a big dog sitting on where she was buried.
Excuse.
And he took it as a bad omen and just left.
Wow.
So Cindy corroborated Cynthia's story that David took photos of her and put them on the wall and was showing her photos of previous women. Cindy said David liked taking photos during the process, but he would often destroy the photos after a period of time, so nothing could be found. He also kept detailed journals marking where girls were abducted, where, and everything he did to them. He also kept psychological forms. And those were forms where he filled out and asked them questions like what their height was, what their weight was, what their hair color, if they had any pregnancies, the last date of their period, how many sexual partners they've had, any venereal diseases, things like that.
Huh.
Cindy said that in February 1999, a woman named Angela was taken, and that was the only name she would give. She said no woman was released alive. So we're going to be talking a little bit about David's work. Remember, I said his boss didn't believe him, so he put him on paid leave.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they still thought he was a nice guy, a great guy even. They still have his state park truck and welding mask he would use to make equipment for them. Last I heard, they still kept that stuff.
Why would you keep that?
He made snake traps for them, and he wrote snake catcher on them, and they still use them.
I'm sorry. After finding out that this guy did all this stuff, I would get rid of everything that he freaking made.
Now, Ray's sister wasn't shocked. She was like, remember those weird drawings I found when he was like 14 and no one did anything about them? I called it.
You go, sister. God.
He also told her at 14, I guess, that he can't have sex with anyone without hurting them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she kind of called it. He has Jessie Ray, his daughter,
Right.
and his son he was not close to as much. His son, his grandmother raised him. So when they tried to use his son to try to elicit a confession, his son actually burst into tears and said, I don't know if I can turn on my father in that way.
Okay.
Isn't that another? There wasn't another case where they tried to get somebody to like turn on their parent and they went, no, I can't do that.
Wasn't that the daughter for the house? They had the people going in and out, but they had to go out the back way or out the window or something.
No, that was it? I think it might have been, yeah.
Because
Fred and Rose, yeah.
Yeah, because they think that they did it to where people could not go through the house. They had to go, like they had to do
They had to get permission to
stairs.
leave.
Yeah, they had to get permission to leave, or if they wanted to leave, they had to go. They had made stairs or something like that.
Yeah. So
I
we
think
have
so.
multiple victims and a lot of chaos in the case. Because they're working backwards.
Mhm.
He had journals, and the journals had dates, and locations, but no names. So it wasn't great for identification.
Okay.
He wanted his own way to log something, but he would still be able to say it was a frame job.
Mm.
He would write the number of times he tortured women, but like cross them out and added tick marks. So, since David and Cindy were captured, national news stations were swarming around, which normally isn't a good thing, but this time it was, because it led to a woman coming forward. The woman was named Angelica Montaneo. She was a resident of Truth and Consequence, and she was hung out where Cindy did, and she was living in Colorado now. She said that on Wednesday, February 17th, 1999, she was taken. Remember that lady Cindy mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yes,
her.
that was her.
She said Cindy and her were hanging at a bar, and Cindy invited her to David's house, and that's where she was ambushed. She was kept for days as well, and she said Cindy helped the whole time. She said it was 4 days that she was tortured, beat, and essayed, and she claimed she begged for her life. She said she had a young child to take care of, and it was like Cindy who was like, damn. And Cindy convinced Ray to drop her off alive somewhere. So she was like, I want to go home. So she hitchhiked, and she was picked up by an off-duty police officer. This part is going to be the most aggravating thing you're ever going to hear.
Okay.
She told him the whole story, and he did nothing about it.
Wow.
He never reported it. He never filed a police report. He never had her file a police report.
Wonder what happened to him after finding out that this actually happened to her.
He thought it was an over-the-top story.
Wow. No, that's come on, dude. If a woman tells you something happened to her, well, now they take everything very seriously. So back then, they think, oh, that couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It's too much drama, and it's what do they say? It's like quiet, like killers would keep it
On the down low.
on the down low. So no, now they take everything seriously, and they should have been taking everything seriously back
From
then
the
too.
get-go.
Yeah.
So the police realized that this is the Angela Cindy mentioned, and there were a lot more victims. So the FBI decided to release some of the images they found in the trailer, along with some images of the 401 items. In one of the videos that Ray recorded, there was a woman with a swan tattoo on her calf, and it was distinctive. And there was also a video of her torture. The FBI released some of it, like when she was strapped to the chair.
That's thank Tataru.
Like when she was strapped to the chair. It was grainy, and you could see she's out of it, and you can see him touching her.
You're okay, Mulan.
And you can see him touching her.
You can get up there.
The tape was actually cutting in and out. And it would like go from him doing this to her to him sound checking the room to going back to her torture to going back to him making sure the camera is set. Like all of the videos were like that. Like it was overlaid on top of each other.
Mm.
So the FBI enhanced the tattoo and said if you know the person with this tattoo, contact us. A woman named Kelly Garrett or Kelly Van Cleve came forward and she said, "That's me."
Oh wow.
She said she was a nanny and she had been friends with Jesse. She had said she'd never been to the Parker residence. She said she didn't really remember any of that video. So I'm going to quote the orientation tape
Mm.
so you understand why she doesn't remember. "I get off on mind games," he said. "After we get completely through with you, you're going to be drugged up real heavy with a combination of sodium pentothal and pentobarbital. They are both hypnotic drugs and they will make you susceptible to hypnosis, audio hypnosis,
Get
and
up here.
hypnotic suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be drugged a couple of days while I
What?
play with your mind. While I play with your mind, by the time I get through brainwashing you, you're not going to remember a fucking thing about this little adventure." Kelly said that for a whole year she had nightmares where she would be chained up and she couldn't get loose and she would have a gag in her mouth and it freaked her out.
Stop that. She can get up here. That's not yours, ma'am. You don't do that.
Aw.
It's all right, Hermione.
Um, and she would have nightmares of being
Come
chained
here.
up, not being able to get loose, having a gag in her mouth, and these nightmares just freaked her out. So in July 1996, she'd been living in Elephant Butte with her husband, and they had a fight, and she left to blow off some steam in the local bar, where Jesse liked to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she started to talk to Jesse. Now, after hanging out all night, Jessie told Kelly that she would give her a ride home on her motorcycle. She said, "I just have to stop at my dad's house for a little bit. Is that okay?" So Kelly waited in the living room of the home, and she said David and Jessie were chatting when they suddenly came out from around the corner with weapons and duct tape.
Mm.
She said they incapacitated her. Now, luckily, Kelly doesn't remember most of the details, but after 3 days of torture, he took Kelly to the state park in his uniform and park ranger vehicle and said he found her wandering on the beach. She said she never reported it because she didn't remember it.
Mm.
She couldn't believe it when she saw the video of herself. Now, I want to say it makes sense because that audio was recorded in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And in that thing, he mentions repeatedly about having a lady accomplice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm pretty sure the lady accomplice he's talking about is his own daughter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Jessie
Yeah, because it wouldn't make any sense if it was Cynthia.
because he met her in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
And if she helped kidnap Kelly,
Then she helped kidnap all the others. Wow.
so she originally turned on him and he was like, "Well, you could do whatever you want. We won't get caught." And she turned and started helping him. I bet you that's what happened.
Oh, sounds plausible because.
All the evidence is pointing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and I'm not the only one who thought this. Because I think the accomplice is Jessie, his daughter, which,
Mhm.
by the way, has some weird implications to it as well.
Yeah.
Just throwing out that, which is, Jessie was
Incest related.
actually arrested immediately.
Good.
His daughter was arrested immediately.
She was an accomplice.
Yep. April 6th, before formal charges were brought, Cindy's lawyers offered information if the DA reduced charges, so she agreed to testify against David. And she said he introduced her to the toy box and his passion for abduction and torturing women early on, but she was so into him that she was like, "I'll go with it." She claimed that a month after she moved in, she helped abduct several women. Only 1 month, she said they were surrounding towns. She said some were let go, others were killed. She said she knew of at least 14 that were killed. They were together 8 months and had done this to 14 girls.
Wow.
He told her that he used Elephant Butte State Park to dispose of the bodies. She claims that he told her that you can't just put a body in the water because the air will eventually want to come up. So he said you find a way to keep the bodies down. You have to eviscerate them. You have to take out all the organs and everything.
Okay.
Elephant Butte Lake is 23 miles long, 3.4 miles wide, and in some places 90 to 100 feet deep.
Oh wow.
They haven't found anything as of yet because they have searched it.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy claimed there was a fourth person involved, not just Jesse, David, and her, but a man named Roy Yancey, and he was a real piece of work.
Mm.
Truth and Consequences had to cancel Halloween one year because of him and his friends. They were wandering around town killing cats and destroying tombstones. Yeah. They
Cats do to you.
they tell him Cindy told the story and he breaks. He confessed everything. He said he was not involved in the murders, but one time he was forced to kill a woman named Mari Parker. Roy and Marie were dating, and he took her to a party at David's house in 1997. Everyone was super drunk. David drugged her and took her to his toy box. Roy said he had heard rumors of the toy box, but he didn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
David held a gun to Roy's head, handed him a rope, and said, "You know what you need to do." Roy then strangled Marie. He said David drove Marie and him to the Monticello Canyon and buried her. So Roy agreed to take them to her burial site. They didn't find anything. Roy believed that David came back and moved her because he didn't want anything tying back to him.
Which
So,
would make sense because
yeah. So technically a first-degree murder conviction would be hard because there's no physical evidence. There was just testimony from Roy and Cindy. So prosecutors tried to try him in 3 different trials, one for Kelly, Angelica, and Cynthia. David was a charmer, though. So 5 months before the trial of Kelly's case, all of a sudden, Roy refused to testify and refused to cooperate. According to prison guards, Roy received an anonymous note in prison um, saying, "Rats die in jail."
oh, wow.
Roy was terrified, so he just pled guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 30 years in prison. In November 1998, David heard Cindy had turned on him, so he started to write her love letters and wooing her in prison, and she fell for it. She filed a motion to withdraw her plea agreement, and he got her name tattooed on him. So Judge Murda handed Cindy 36 years in prison for the abduction and torture of Kelly and Angelica. Kelly testified. Kelly also testified at her own trial, and she said she didn't want him to get the death penalty because she wanted him to suffer like she had. Now they had the video of Kelly to nail him. His lawyer argued it was consensual BDSM.
Okay. Keep going.
She was incoherent. She could not consent. They said every woman in every video had agreed to it for payment in drugs. Some of the jurors bought it. They came back deadlocked. 2 jurors ended up as holdouts and they thought it could be consensual, so the judge had to declare a mistrial. I'm sorry, those people who went, "It could have been consensual." Somebody
You
look
hear
in your
everything.
internet files, go into their computer, look
Yeah.
it up. Look into your history. Do you got women who you're like, that might have been consensual? I heard somebody was sitting there and somebody had talked about like um sexual assault and fake allegations. And the guy had commented, "There's not a whole lot of fake allegations." And so he's like, "Well, I've had 11 fake accusations against me about SA." And I was like,
And you're proud of that?
11? 11 accusations against yourself? Buddy, I think you need to take a deeper look.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sound like he was happy about that.
Not even the
Like
happy about it, but 11?
Like, look what I got. I got 11. Not something to be proud of, dude.
And
And not only, if you
at that
think about it,
point,
what is the jury thinking? You hear everything that this man had in his toy box and what he was doing to these women, and not only that,
you had a video.
you hear the chemicals that were used to give them as not a hallucinogen, but
Hypnotize them.
Yeah, hypnotize. Come on. And when you hypnotize somebody, you can get it to where they can say that they can like make them say certain things.
He made her forget, and the only way she kind of remembered was night terrors.
It's like, or he hypnotized her to
only have the
night
nightmares.
terrors. Yeah. So I mean,
Because he did say he liked to have mind games.
so how can you sit there and not and come back and then it has to be a mistrial? That's no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable?
So we're on Cynthia's case. In 2001, they went to trial. She was coherent during her whole ordeal, so she wanted to make sure the jury knew she wasn't a willing participant. She testified against him, and she was distraught. She even yelled at him and called him a bastard in court.
Yeah, I would too.
Before the jury broke to deliberate, his lawyer stood up and said, "We want to take a plea deal." You see, Jessie was also going to stand trial on her own for helping him. His plea was he would plead guilty to all charges if Jessie was released with time served.
Wow, that's
They agreed and sentenced him to 224 years in prison. Glenda Jean Ray is walking the streets. She pleaded no contest to kidnapping charges in 2001 and was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison plus 5 years in probation in connection to her father's stuff. I've tried to find her. She's completely off the book. The only thing I found was mentioned was an appearance in a UK show called Murder by Design, which is not available in the US. I even tried to search Reddit, and I have not touched Reddit since the Red Pill episode. So I really was doing the research in that.
yeah.
So she's unknown. They don't know where she is.
Wow, they're probably not going to find her.
Yeah. If she did a show in UK, I bet you she lives in the UK now.
But then you said the son changed his name completely.
Yeah.
Blame him.
Ray found God in prison, and he said, "I'll talk." So they scheduled a meeting as soon as they could. Right before they had that conversation, he died of a heart attack. He died 8 months after sentencing. He had been held for 2.5 years while waiting for trial, so he only served about 3 for his crimes.
Oh, he's going to be serving more.
He was never convicted of murder. But I do believe a case in New Mexico has been reopened. A case for 22-year-old Jill Troya. It's a 16-year-old cold case, but they opened it because they've been going through the journal still. So the police department, on occasion, when they'll still go through the journals of his and try to track down people. And they think he might have slipped up and put a burial site because he did mention a cave in his burial site. She went missing in 1995. This Jill, right? She was Jesse's girlfriend. Now, in the audio tape, he does mention that he likes to turn he likes to torture lesbians in his spare time, and his daughter was a lesbian. And so his daughter would have been the perfect person to pick up people.
Oh, wow.
Because Jill was her girlfriend. He goes into detail in the audio tape. He goes into detail about a lot of stuff.
Trying to bite me? No.
She was 23 and was last seen with her girlfriend. Jessie told police that they got into a fight and David picked up her girlfriend and she never saw her again.
And so, knowing that her dad was doing this stuff, obviously she didn't care.
Well, she knew, and she didn't. It wasn't David who picked her up. It was her, and they did what they did to Kelly.
Wow.
In 2011, they found bones in a reservoir, and they believe it to be some of David Ray Parker's victims.
I think it was the one where the dog sat on her.
Maybe. Also, the FBI still has a website with images of artifacts that they have to identify people, so you can still go and look them up.
Oh, wow. Have they had anybody come forward of
Not that I've been
knowing
able to
who-
find.
Okay.
Jill is the closest I've been able to find that they've opened a cold case.
Oh, wow.
Because again, he targeted sex workers.
Yeah.
Again, they're people without families. Not necessarily without families. A lot of them have bad home lives that people wouldn't notice if they go missing.
It's sad.
It's awful. So, Cindy, after serving 20 years, she had done a plea deal. She was released. And neighbors found out in February 2024 she was living in a Kent neighborhood near a daycare. Now, when she was released, she was going to be on a GPS monitor and a heavily monitored sex offender. So imagine the neighborhood surprise when she was found to be living in that neighborhood near a daycare and she was listed as a level 2 offender, which basically states she was at a moderate risk for reoffending and she was not put at the highest of a sex offender list. They said they determined this off of her age, her crimes, and the connection she had to her victims.
Oh, wow.
The families in the neighborhood were mad because no one informed them she was living there. The other guy, Roy Yancey, is serving his time in prison.
So when the families found out, I mean, they have every right to be mad.
I
because-
never found out what they did exactly, but I did find the article that they were really pissed she was living there.
Oh, wow.
So the toy box killer ended up having like 4 actual people who. So we know Cindy was charged. Cindy was helping him. Roy killed that one lady.
Mhm.
And then
Jesse.
David, and then Jesse. But Jesse seemed to get away with it.
And what makes them think that she won't try to do it again?
Exactly.
I mean, if you're going to put one on the sex offender list, you got to put her on it too.
No, because they took a plea deal so he could get jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sick people.
Yep.
What is mentally wrong with you?
So, you want to hear the audio tape? Just hear what he sounds like?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. How's the soup?
Ask the Dutch brothers.
Tastes great to me.
Good. Glad you offered some to us lower level people. Spoiled.
My first and only one.
Yeah, really. Hello, folks. How are you? This is
John throwing a tantrum because he didn't get a Dutch Bros.
how many people on the screen would love a Dutch Bros?
I know Angela would.
Yeah,
Alright.
she's already said she
She's
would.
already said, where's
She's-
her Dutch Bros? Okay, so I'm just going to do where you can hear what he sounds like. I'm not going to play all of it, but
Okay, bitch. We both know what you've been brought here for. A lot of fucking and sucking. Your wrists and ankles are chained, and you're gagged because you're not going to like the way I do it. You're going to be kept here, naked and chained down. I'm going to use you for a sex slave.
so yeah, that's a little bit of the audio. Can you imagine being blindfolded and
Have to listen
gagged
to that.
and being forced to listen to that after being abducted?
Yeah, I don't think I could. No.
That gives me the willies.
I could probably see why what's her name couldn't keep food down.
Yeah, that gives me the willies. If you ever want to listen to the whole thing, don't. If you ever want to read the transcript, don't.
Apparently, yeah.
I am permanently traumatized for life.
It's insane. It's horribly disgusting.
And the fact that his coworkers were like, "Oh, he's such a chill guy. I'm gonna put him on paid leave because he couldn't have done this."
Well, what you think now? I mean, come on. The fact that you have one woman sit there and point at one of his coworkers and say he's just like you.
Pointed out at a police officer because the park uniform and their uniform was the same.
Yeah, it's like.
And when they realized it was a park uniform, how much you want to bet the police department went, "Oh my god, it's not us."
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's not us. Okay,
But then I
good.
wonder how many of them had thought back to how many of their coworkers that they went, "Ooh."
Yeah, because it kind of
Makes you reevaluate all of your relationships.
it'd be like, okay, I sit with Tim every day. He's so quiet.
Yeah.
But then he talks about this. Damn it! Now I gotta wonder.
And then even though you hear it's not one of your fellow police officers, you still go, "Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I don't
didn't
know."
Tim make that one joke that made me uncomfortable for a couple of weeks?"
Like-
Maybe.
Yeah, like sorry, Tim.
It's a lot closer than it appears.
There was a joke pun right there. I was gonna say, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that is David Ray Parker, the toy box killer. Um, I feel bad because didn't Kelly on the stand said she wanted him to suffer like they had. And it seems like he couldn't stand the suffering.
I mean, karma.
Yeah, had a heart attack and died.
I mean, if I, it's gonna sound so horrible. If I was in prison and he was having a heart attack, I'd be like, all right, you feeling okay? You good?
I also wonder if he was actually going to, because they said he was going. He found God and he was going to tell them everything. I actually wonder if he was going to tell them.
Yeah, because he said he would talk, and then
But I wonder if it was kind of like a power play, because he said he liked to play mind games. And you don't, and I hate to say this, you don't just find God and stop being this kind of horrible person.
yeah.
So I wonder if he was just playing mind games with the police.
What are you doing? Going outside with your donut? Okay. It rained a little bit.
Damn, John's got an attitude today. No, it didn't.
He's
I'm
being sarcastic.
sorry. It's been a long day.
You know what? You pick it up.
He won't.
I know he won't.
But yeah.
Well, you know,
Do you see why I said I didn't want to do Kemper immediately after this episode?
I don't blame you. I do not blame you one bit. I mean, good for the girls coming forward that survived.
Yes.
Good for them. I'm glad to hear that the one that ran into the old couple's house was taken care of. You know.
And Cynthia actually, I think she's done TV shows
Yeah.
of surviving a murder, things like that. A lot of people give her shit because she was a drug addict. And
Okay,
she's
that's
in the
not
process of healing.
That's not the most important part of what happened to
That's
her.
not the important part. She is in the process of
That's
healing.
not the important part.
Important part. She is healing.
Words are hard today.
She's went through something traumatic and awful.
And if all you're going to do is point out that she's a drug addict, then shame on you.
And can you also imagine how terrifying that must have been? Her going, that girl needs help. She's addicted to heroin. Bitch, shut up.
You sat
You
here and you
kidnapped women.
essayed and murdered and
Abused.
tortured. You did everything under the sun to somebody. And
To
for you to
multiple
judge
people.
to, you know, for you to sit here and point a finger at one person, shame on you.
She needs help. You a bitch.
Make that a t-shirt. You a bitch. With our logo on the back.
No, this case was one of the more, I think, heartbreaking ones, because it really goes to show that girl is running naked down the street, covered in blood, with a chain around her neck. She was trying to get into people's cars, and they just would drive past her and accelerate past her, so she wouldn't try to get in their car. Nobody tried to stop and see what was wrong. It took her knocking and getting into somebody's house for her to get help.
Which is shameful. I mean, I can understand now these days you don't want to just pick up a random person because you don't know. But how are you going to know if you don't ask? You know, now if they give you the heebie jeebs,
Yeah.
then don't. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been told my dad never pick up a hitchhiker. And I'm like, well, I don't plan on it. You know, that's no. And that was always instilled into us as kids. You know, don't talk to strangers. Don't go into someone's house you don't know. Don't get in anybody's car that you don't know. I mean, that whole entire thing.
And just to think how the 70s and the 80s, so many fucking people were hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at.
We could play outside with not 1 ounce of a problem of being afraid that we're going to be taken from our front yard.
I mean, have you heard about what's happening in Virginia with the ice cream trucks?
No.
Apparently, ice cream trucks are driving down the streets at like 1 a.m. midnight with their music playing full blast.
Why? Is that right, Mulan? It's just Dad.
And the weird part is, I guess in Virginia, a bunch of kids have gone missing. But no Amber Alerts have been triggered. I think they're saying like the number of kids that have gone missing in Virginia so far are about 100 just this year.
And why would you not do an Amber Alert?
Exactly, and
Mm,
that's the concerning part. And with the ice cream trucks driving around in the middle of the night, it's a little bit creepy.
yeah. Well, not only that, if you're hearing an ice cream truck at 12 or 1 in the morning,
Well,
would you not call the cops?
somebody saw them on the highway. They're driving on the highway, and so the lady started following them because she's like, I've seen this on TikTok. I'm a little concerned. So she started following the ice cream truck. The ice cream truck turns around into a dead end street, turns around to face them, and the lady's all like, ah, fuck that. Turns her car around. And
when I'm passing by.
This is not a good thing.
it's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. You don't care.
To satisfy.
So she starts.
That's not a good thing. The ice cream
No.
truck is driving around at 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning taking kids.
Yeah.
That's why don't sing that song. No.
So she turns around real quick and she's driving, but the car starts chasing her.
Then go to a police station.
She loses it in the middle of the highway, but she's like, that wasn't the scariest encounter of my whole entire
I'm serious.
life.
If something like that happens to you, go to a police station.
Yeah, but
because they're more likely to sit there and be like, oh shit, nope, ain't going there.
But she's like, what the hell is happening?
And take lots of pictures.
But the fact the ice cream truck is out in the middle of the road at midnight and it's just driving on the highway, she's like, what the frick?
Sorry, ice cream bands freak me out. Especially when they look weird.
I can't look at ice cream trucks ever since Fred and Rose's case because all I can think of is Fred hitting a child and killing a child.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't buy ice cream from ice cream trucks anymore. Used to as kids.
There was one ice cream truck I do want to go to. It's called Eat the Rich, and so they have ice cream cones and ice cream that looks like billionaires, and you can eat the rich. It's kind of funny.
It's fucked up.
They have a Jeff
Can
Bezos.
I have a Trump, please?
They got a Jeff Bezos. They got a Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh my god, I wouldn't eat Trumps. I would let it melt on purpose.
But no, it's. I was like, what the?
God, last time, one and only time I ever bought ice cream on an ice cream truck was for Justin and his brother, and it was outrageous and ridiculous for the price that they wanted for that crap. It's like, go to Walmart, buy yourself one that's like a little tub for $3.50. Ooh, by the way, yeah, we went and got some stuff. So I was talking about food earlier. John just had a couple bowls of the cheeseburger soup, which is what I'm gonna do in a few minutes, and then I got to start chicken and dumplings. They had big bags of the ramen, I think it's called ramen, frozen egg noodle or frozen noodles that I use for chicken and dumplings. I don't do biscuits because biscuits have that weird texture and I don't like it. It just tastes weird. Get up and lay down. She won't do it again.
Hermione tried to jump up and Willow smacked her.
Yep, she batted at her because Willow acts like it's hers. Because why? Mom's sitting right here. Oh, Willow.
So Hermione's a little shy.
She wants to get up here and lay down, but she doesn't want to get up there with Willow. Get up there. Go on. It's all right.
You're good.
Get up there. And so
go on.
We went and got some things today so I can make some meals for the week because they're gonna buy their stuff for them and their trip for next week. And then Friday I'm gonna make chicken bacon ranch wraps for them to take on their trip because they head out on
Sunday,
whatever. And I'm like,
we leave
well then
Sunday.
I don't want to make them until Saturday then.
Okay. I'll help you because I'm gonna pack up on Friday.
Okay.
I don't care if it's too early. We're packing up on Friday.
No, I always pack up the week before because I do that. But I'm gonna make them chicken bacon ranch pinwheels so they have them in the car. So that way they don't buy food but stop for gas and stuff like that. And
also, I'm so excited. I only worked 3 days this week.
Yep.
I have 3 days and then I am not at work.
Stop it.
Willow.
Be nice. Now, that's not just yours.
Look how sad she looks.
Technically, this is my spot. And you all took it. I love you, but y'all took it.
Look how sad she looks.
Yep. It's okay. Come here. Come here. Well, don't stare at me. Just come here. You need to be nice. Not every spot in this house is yours. So you need to stop.
Come on.
Turd. So how am I supposed to do it? Well, you don't jump up here, please. Yeah, go over there. There you go.
Come on.
But
Come on.
gonna get them set up and get ready to go, and then whenever they get back, John and I will go on our little getaway.
Come on.
Because we need to get out of here for a bit.
Come on.
You know?
Yes, we do.
Have some time to ourselves. And then
Come on.
come
got
back
it.
and start
You
going
got
through
it.
things
Come
in the
on.
house.
No, come on. You got this.
Like, I don't know, Mom.
You got this. Come
But-
on.
So next week, again, we do not have one. This Thursday, I'm going to. It's all right, Mulan. Nope, Mulan's freaking her out. Oh, her collar.
No, it's not her collar. She just coughs sometimes.
But
I didn't grab her collar.
oh, okay, but
She also saw Mulan, and I wonder, she's like, oh no.
yeah, Mulan and her don't get along. Mulan. Okay, there you go. But we got so much to do. Next week we don't have a show. This Thursday, I'm gonna try and get as much info. Well, I need to get the info for that one conspiracy theory. Then when they come back, so that following Thursday it'll just be me. Stop it!
She can't even walk past you now?
You quit. You know what? Get off the couch. Get.
Come on, Hermione.
But I'll see what they have like different ones for the conspiracy theory that was listed. So I'll have to look them up and see what they what they look like and what they are.
Come on.
Then the 9/11 after they get back. Yes, we'll do the podcast on 9/11. Then I'll take in that Thursday. I will do one on the conspiracy of it. I hear from people that
What are you doing?
there are conspiracies of it. So we'll go into detail on that. There's as much as I can find. But we are going to. I don't even know what time it is. Okay, so
That was a long case.
it was. So
That wet me.
we're going to jump off here, go eat. I need to go take a shower before I eat. Got some dishes to get rid of, the dishwasher, all that fun jazz.
No, I'm not giving you love and affection. You just
Yeah.
batted at my
We have to be up at 4 a.m. or 4:15 to get to work at 5. So might not get to make chicken and dumplings this evening. Before I get started. Fuck the duck. Really?
Willow. What the fuck?
Crackhead.
Ay, Dios mío.
Mm-hmm. Like my phrase. Fuck the duck.
No.
Do not drink that.
No.
Willow. Turd.
Tail.
Well, dang, at least we know that Dutch Bros doesn't go into the carpet.
That's true.
God bless America.
All right. We will
Captain
let
America signing off.
Sorry. We will let you go.
That's just not nice, man.
Not at all.
That was rude. It was rude.
Also, I told Justin we are getting Dutch Bros at 5 o'clock. We will be the first people in that line when we leave on Sunday.
And his probably response was, "Of course we are."
Yes, I know. Yeah, you're right. You know we are. We better. I be expecting this rebel.
Oh, I love you. That's what I wish you'd stop.
Love you.
Okay, is there? All right, kids. As I clean up this mess, expose the dog hair and cat hair. Have a good work week,
Have a good work week.
and we'll see you on Thursday with the conspiracy might change up a few things. I haven't talked to her about it yet. Of maybe like recording, just to take a break from being live. But maybe doing some recordings or whatnot.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll discuss her and I will discuss that later. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you to Angela and Thomas, our moderators, for jumping on here with us. And help us get over on A&M History, the A&M History channel. Help us get to 50. We have 25 subscribers right now. Everybody just went back to school and whatnot, so
Yeah.
it's still kind of
Low.
We're still a little low, but we'll probably start peaking up around September, October at most.
Yeah.
Starts cooling off. We'll probably do a podcast out in the garage while we're going through crap.
Yeah.
Just
When it starts cooling off.
When it starts cooling off. But again, love you all. Thank you for getting on here. Be sure to go over to A&M History. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we do go live. And maybe over here on Love You Too, Miss Angela. It may be live on J&M's, but it does get posted over on A&M History. This coffee went everywhere. So we will see you guys this Thursday. And then, like I said, the following week, there will not be a podcast on Monday, but it is scheduled to post.
Yeah.
So we will see you in, probably 2 weeks for a Monday podcast. But everybody have a great week. Work week. What?
Work week.
What? Oh, let's see if it does it. Hold on.
We will.
I like watching myself be stupid. It's funny.
We will see you in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
I'll be 1 year older.
You will be 1 year older.
I don't
Okay.
want you.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.